Disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All third-party video clips, audio, and commentary fall under fair use as outlined in Section 107 of the Copyright Act, in accordance with applicable laws. The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the host and should not be taken as fact or professional advice, and do not necessarily reflect current views or affiliations.
What's going on, guys? I got a good one, got a sad one. It's a cautionary tale of how a situation can change quickly for you in this trucking industry. And what happens when your entire life change in a single moment? When one accident takes away your ability to work, your independence, and leaves you fighting just to stand again. Well, today, drivers, we're diving into a story that isn't just about survival. It's about resilience. It's about pain and the realities of what this truck drivers actually face when tragedy strikes.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Our story begins with a truck driver named Myles. His life was turned upside down this past year in East Texas when his semi-truck went off the road and slammed into a tree. And in that instant, everything changed for this driver. He was trapped under the dashboard for 3 hours. He was alone. He was in pain. He was terrified, just waiting and hoping that someone would stop for him. Well, somebody actually did stop. They was nice enough to get out, check on this driver, and call EMTs. When they finally came, they had to use the jaws of life to pull this driver out of this wrecked truck. From there, drivers, it was just a whirlwind of pain. This driver went through 3 hospitals, multiple surgeries, blood clots that even stopped the procedure midway because it was too dangerous to operate on him. And eventually, they transferred this driver to San Antonio, where doctors fought to not only save his life, but to at least save his legs. The injuries, driver, brutal. A shattered ankle, a shattered tibia, a femur broken, and it came through the skin. 3 fractures in the hip, 4 broken ribs, 2 broken hands, a dislocated shoulder, plates in his ankle, legs, and a rod from his knee to his hip to hold everything together. This driver is the modern day $6 million man.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Now, when those doctors say that we can rebuild this man, that's exactly what they did to save this driver's life. 5 months in the hospital, rehab centers, 5 months of fighting just to move again. To process this trauma, to even begin the recovery, is what this driver has to go through now. This is his life. Trucking, I don't think he's able to do it ever. Well, I'm not going to say ever, but as of right now, Myles is left with constant pain, limited mobilities, and hospital bills over $250,000. Unfortunately, this driver can't go back to the job that he loves so much. He can't even go back to any job at this point. He still needs rehab. And right now, drivers, he's literally asking for help, any kind of help. Anything will help. Donations, anything. So he wanted everybody in the group, and that's why I'm doing this topic today, because he needs the support. Because right now, drivers, this driver has no other options. Now listen, drivers, I can't help but to think about the realities behind the wheel. These truck drivers out here every day. We're moving the freight. We're keeping America moving. We're running. But when something goes wrong, when an accident happens, the system don't step up to help us. Now, let me just pause right here for a minute because what this driver is going through, I can't begin to fathom how he's going through. Not only the pain, but the financial burden that this driver has. Let's just say he probably might been an owner-op with limited insurance. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there going to say, hey, insurance is important. You can't leave that out. And I get it. But you got to understand, insurance is also the biggest problems that healthcare has. A lot of the stuff that this driver needs, insurance won't even cover it. Again, $250,000? Where he's going to get that kind of money from, especially if he's not working? See, Myles isn't just dealing with the physical pain. Again, he's dealing with the mental toll of being trapped and some of the surgeries that he probably can't get because of the financial burden. He's waking up every day knowing that life will not be the same for him. And on top of that, the crushing weight of just medical debt is just stacking up against this driver. The part that gets me though, and I do feel him because I understand about the cost of the medical costs that's associated with his issue, $250,000 and no way to work. That's not just a number, that's a mountain standing between him and his recovery. And it's a reminder of how fragile life is for us drivers out here. One accident, we're not just fighting for our health out here. We're fighting for survival and we're fighting for financial stability. It makes me think about how many drivers out here, including myself, right now, we're just one bad day away from the same situation of this driver. And it hurts. It hurts tremendously. See, the industry don't talk about this. This is the side that we don't hear about. We hear about all the other sides about how the money is and how great trucking is and stuff like that. We hear about freight rates. We hear about dispatchers. We hear about brokers. But we don't hear about the human cost when tragedy hits us the most. Myles' story is heartbreaking, but it is powerful. And this is one story that needs to be heard because it shows us the strength it takes to survive, to keep pushing, even when everything else feels stacked against us. But it also shows us the cracks in this system that we're facing. Truck drivers, we give everything to this industry. And when disaster strikes, they just leave us alone for us to figure it out. And it's just not right, drivers. So here's the takeaway. And this is the takeaway that I want you drivers to leave with. Support really matters. Sharing really matters. And for this driver, even the smallest donation matters. Because for someone like Myles, every bit of help is a step towards his rebuilding of his life. And beyond that, drivers, let's start talking about these stories more, man. So I want to thank Myles. Thank you for your story, man, because this is something that these new drivers need to hear. Let's shine a light on the struggles that we face out here. Not just when we're on the road, but when life throws them into situations that we never asked for.
So, what do you think? Should there be more protections for drivers when accidents like this happen? Should the industry step up to support the people who keep it alive? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found value in this story, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video so more people can hear Myles' story. If you've got a story of your own, whether it's about trucking, gig work, or just life hitting hard, send it to me at lockoutmenpodcastguest@gmail.com. See you on the next one.